Hello, everybody in Facebook land.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition.
Yes, it's Mark Warnock.
Free Lunch Comic News.
And Matt Ryan, and we're here broadcasting from the Cox Communications office in Enfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
And we're happy to bring you this new segment of news. We've got planned headlines, right? We've got the comic convention weather report.
We do. The comic report.
We've got Comic Watch, which is, oh look, Ange is here, Jay is here.
Hey.
The gang is all here.
Everyone's starting to come on board.
You know things are great when your regular buddies are showing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got the Comic Watch, and then we have free lunch news. I got a lot of free lunch studio news that I can share. Oh, look, and there's Brian. Brian, man, I'm still digging your podcast. I listened to it this morning when I was running.
It cost us a Geekonomics episode yesterday because Brian had a pulsating interview he had to do.
Oh, and he can't talk about who it is. I know it's
can't.
super secret stuff.
It is top secret.
Good for you, man. I love it. It's gonna be
nominated for an award.
It's gonna be tough.
You know it?
And I did not know that.
Yeah, Twin Peaks Unwrapped is nominated for a podcast award.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
For best Enfield-made Twin Peaks podcast. I don't know exactly what the category was.
And no, I run for like 20 minutes, not 40. But I do 20 minutes a day. So does that count?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay. I did see a blip about that, Brian. Okay. Very cool, man. Very cool.
Who did you get? John Lynch?
John Lynch, yeah.
The guy's the GM for the San Francisco 49ers?
No.
Former football player for the Denver Broncos?
No, I doubt it.
That'd be more interesting to me, at least.
So we're all queued up.
Show intro over and do our comic news. We're going to have the convention report. Are we going to have a story time with Uncle Matt this episode?
I don't think I really have a good story.
No stories from your travels around the convention circuit?
I can honestly say the shows that I've done in the last couple of weeks have been less than exciting. You know, well, that's not true. I had the Connecticut Horror Fest was insane, and your sister.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
was worth talking about.
I don't think it came out of it with any life experiences that I could share.
That came from it.
Yeah, I'm totally going to show that off.
So that's what we should do. That.
All right, so we can talk about that during the free lunch news segment.
No, we do that during Storytime with Uncle Matt.
I don't know if there's really a point.
Yeah, it's a point. It's more content. It's all about content, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well,
it's all about lengthening the show, so it's not
so it was cool. All right.
The same. We're doing top 10s. I saw that was in there.
That's old. We did the top 10 last time. So it's just going to... No. We did the top 10 last time.
So go to that.
Yeah.
So just our picks.
Comic Watch.
And no Comic Watch.
No, so the picks were last time, so we don't have picks, but we do have Comic Watch.
So we have this one. Or do we want to use a Comic Watch, which is this one?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the thumpy beady one.
Right, that's what I thought. I think... Yeah.
Well, Mark sounds like me when I do our show.
Yeah, I know. I sound like I'm the one that actually knows what's going on in this show. It's weird. I'm the organized one in the show.
Do you play this for yourself at night in the dark sometimes?
I've never listened to any shows that we've been on. I can honestly say.
I'm the only one who sounds like I know what I'm doing.
Well, I think that's what he's talking about because I'm the one that has to go through things and plan the things out.
Sure, yeah.
Whereas in our show, I just sit there and let Brian do all the work.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, basically.
That's true. I knew that. Brian does sit right there. And, yep.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get rid of this then.
So is this permanent that you're doing now, or?
Huh?
I hope it's not permanent.
No, it's just mine. I use the iTunes as like my shot list kind of. Mm-hmm. And I just record over here.
So I saw you throw something away.
Oh, I just because we had two Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So we had an extra spot we don't have an ad for.
All right.
Because we're still waiting, Brian. We're still waiting on Bobby to give us the Dungeonetics ad. So if you can hound him, I'll hound him as well.
Yeah, laugh out loud. All right, let's get this thing. Let's get this thing cracking.
For the show, so we can run that as well.
All right, so here we go. Get ready, folks. We're gonna jump in.
I actually just talked to John about talking to you down the road about maybe at the East River show about possibly doing a comic out of our adventure.
Oh yeah, you guys have been kicking that idea around for a while.
I want to actually do it, I think.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I dig that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Count us down, Mark.
Counting down.
Dead air. Did we lose sound?
No, I turned the sound off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Start the show.
All right, here we go,
This
folks.
is the 7th one. You don't know how this works yet?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay, good. You're like me. All right. And we're off. Welcome to Free Lunch News.
Hey, everybody.
The Free Lunch Comic News brought to you by Free Lunch Comics.
Free Lunch Studios over in Terrifield, Connecticut. Hey.
Yes.
I was just there.
I hope you were. You're going to end the show. Mark and Matt here with you to talk about all things comics.
Yes.
How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm good. Tim is not going to be here this week.
I noticed since he's not here with us.
Tim's got something going
He's off
on.
a assignment.
A big assignment. Yes.
We sent him off on a special report, which he'll give us next time on the show.
I want to say this before we get knee deep into the show. I want to thank all the viewers. I didn't see the numbers for the podcast result, but I can say that we had a lot of people tune in for the Facebook Live show, we really, really appreciate that. Pretty excited about the results of the last show. So that's a big shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much.
The count's really down low this time.
We're going to blame it on Tim.
It's Tim.
Yeah, we are.
And that means Tim has to then join the show all the time.
Well, he's going to be with us for the rest of this semester, so.
No, he's here permanently.
Permanent. This is it.
Things go down.
He's going to be living here.
I'm going to get him a cot and he can sleep out back.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's a big guy, though.
Yeah, well, I'll get a big cot.
All right, very good.
So, first thing out, we're going to do comic news coming at you just a bit. But first, we give you a little bit of news about the Monday Night Jam.
Yes.
The Free Lunch Studios. So, we'll be back in just a little bit.
I love the jam.
It's Free Lunch Comic News. News.
All right, so he's prepping up the Monday Night Jam news segment. I want to say hi to our viewers on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Christine, I just saw you there. I want to thank you. We were going to give your show a shout out a little bit in a little bit later in the show. We had such a great time at your show. It was actually Mark's sister that was working the booth with me. That day went by so fast. It was so exciting, such great people. I don't want to get into it too much, but we want to thank you for making room for us at that show, and we really loved being able to do that. And now I'm actually going through the horror comic strips that we did for your site a couple years back, and we're thinking about putting those together in a book, and maybe we can release it at your show. So something to talk about later, but. We want to thank you. There's Steph. Steph's is my social media superhero. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Yeah, you like the idea of that? I don't want to make this a conversation between the two of us because we do have to keep this going, but I'd be curious to find out if you're going to do it in that same venue because that was, no pun intended, pretty cool.
Was that the Danbury Arena?
It was, and
Former home of the Danbury Whalers.
Is that right? Like it was, we were in there. We weren't burning out. Like it was nice.
On the old hockey rink.
It was awesome. At the end, it was freezing because all that body heat left, but it was really awesome.
It was a hockey rink after all.
Yeah. All right, so
before we get to the next segment,
yep.
I'll just reminder to all the folks on Facebook, if there's any books that you want us to talk about or anything you want us to talk about, feel free to give us a shout. We'll try to throw it in during one of the segments, and we'll talk about it. But we always want to make sure you guys get a little bit of yourselves into the show as well. Besides,
Ange is our living spokesperson of that. She knows.
Left.
She already threw a question out there about the Phantom. I think. I don't know if that's.
Oh, Phantom.
Yeah, I don't. We'll have to after.
Is that the one, the purple?
The purple
Billy
guy.
Zane.
Yeah.
Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Remember that bad movie?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a
So,
bad
all right, I'm gonna plug back in here.
Yeah, hop back in. We're getting ready to go to comic news.
Comic news. I'll start, and then you jump
Now,
in.
for you folks on the Facebook, we're going to let you know now there is a huge spoiler for Marvel Legacy that we're going to talk about during the comic news. So if you don't want to know anything about what's going on in Marvel Legacy, please stay tuned and walk away from your computer for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Jay, the Black Hammer. Who puts that out?
Black Hammer. That sounds like something on
Super.
BET or something.
Start the show quick.
The Black Hammer. Come on.
Start the show.
Wasn't there a Jewish hammer? Wasn't that a thing? Remember that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Corbin Burnson, I think it was.
Corbin Burnson, huh?
All right. Comic news coming at you.
Dark Horse.
So first a little intro, then we'll go into comic news.
There it is, Black Hammer. Jeff Lemire. I'm not reading this. I can't. The only thing I can say is Jeff Lemire, like he's a ridiculously popular.
Eisner nominee for Best New Series.
ridiculously popular writer. And they've got a tribute Superman cover there. The only thing I can say with any kind of education behind it, Jay, is Tim Jensen. The 13th, the 13th issue is on stands now. Just came out last Wednesday. So if you hustle your butt to the store, you can get that.
If you can find someone who has it.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Call ahead to make sure they have it before you drive all the way there.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
We're going to start with you on the intro, then throw to you. Okay.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right. Free Lunch Comic News back at you here with the comic news coming to you from one and only Matt Ryan.
Well, and Mark Warnock.
I know, but you're going to start it off. So.
I am going to start it off with this.
Hold on, I got to throw to you first.
Now
it's time for comic news.
All right, here we go. This is exclusive from CBR. The American Gods TV show has been renewed for a second season on Starz, and they just released that a 9-issue second volume is going to be coming out from Dark Horse Comics as well. It says here, American Gods, My Angel, will launch this following spring with a new subtitle bringing new number 1 with a release date of March 14th, 2018. Creative team of P. Craig Russell and Scott Hampton are set to return, along with those gorgeous covers by Glenn Fabry and Adam Brown, and some variant covers by David Mack. So that's a heck of a cover lineup too. Brief description of the second arc. American Gods, My Angel follows Shadow Moon and Mr. Wednesday as they continue their bizarre trans-American road trip to recruit reinforcements for the imminent God War. The first story arc of 9 issues comprises about 200 pages of Neil Gaiman's novel, which means that there's approximately 1 page of prose to 1 page of graphic novel, which is pretty wild.
Wow, that's great.
That's an interesting statistic. A 264-page hardcover collected edition of American Gods Shadows is scheduled for a release date of February 28th. So they're going to stay pretty relevant. And I know that, we were looking through previews earlier, and it's still hitting the shelves now. So that's American Gods, greenlit for a second TV arc and a comic series arc.
Oh, very nice. Another news from CBR, Red Robin's Rebirth. Tim Drake returns in more than one way. Tim Drake's been off the board for quite some time in the Rebirth DCU, almost a year exactly, in fact. He was killed, with the finger quotes, in Detective Comics 240, but immediately revealed to have actually been abducted by the mysterious Mr. Oz, a status which put him in the esteemed company of other victims of Mr. Mxyzptlk.
That's
Mxyzptlk in Doomsday. So, of course, no one actually believed he would be gone for good, making a mystery of just how he was going to make it back. One of the longest-running questions Rebirth has had going. Well, and why Oz took him in the first place, considering his fairly blatant incongruity with the rest of his prisoner's occupants. Luckily, as a lonely place of living finally kicks into gear in Detective Comics, number 965, alongside Action Comics, The Oz Effect. Answers are finally beginning to trickle in and bring with them a slew of new questions to be asked. For more, you can check out cbr.com.
All right, my next news bite is from Marvel. So if you're listening or if you're watching,
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
That's the spoiler alert. We just created a thing here, Mark. Is that?
I did. I just came up with it.
So the humpback whale call means there's a. All right.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
So if you don't want to hear anything, I don't know, just plug your nose for a couple seconds.
Plug your nose. How's that gonna help?
Marvel Legacy #1 has been hyped by the publisher as a comic that will bring back a major fan favorite character in a story designed to shape the future of the Marvel Universe. Sounds simple enough, right? Speculation is all over the place, with fans theorizing the return of everyone from Marvel, which is funny. I just picked up the death of Captain Marvel today, to Miracle Man and more. Was it going to be Sentry? Was it going to be Jean Grey? Uncle Ben? The Marvel Universe.
I love his race.
The Marvel Universe is packed with full with fan favorite characters that would shock the world with their return. But in the end, it turned out that the biggest shock was that the Marvel brought back not only one beloved character, but teased the return of another. So here we go.
All right,
This is it. This is drinking the Kool-Aid without water right now.
Grab your seatbelt and strap in.
The big reveal, which was announced ahead of time on Monday, was that Logan, the regular age Wolverine who died several years ago after losing his healing factor, was once again alive. And by the end of the story, here we go, get ready, he also had an Infinity Stone.
What?
And there's another spoiler, that the epilogue, there's an epilogue to the story, and it shows that the narrator was Valeria Richards.
What?
Homesick from being away from the Marvel Universe, is ready to return home with her family.
Ooh.
So
Fantastic
if
news.
you're a regular viewer here, we talked about the big news of Thing and Human Torch getting their own book.
Yes.
And we talked about how weird it was that there was no Jack Kirby Fantastic Four tribute book. All of a sudden, all of these four themes are coming back. So very exciting. So that's the end of the spoiler. I don't know how to let people know who are listening. You can unplug your nose now. I hope you're still listening.
Yes. Yes. I told you to wait for a couple seconds. But no, that means the mouse has gotten rights to Fantastic Four, is what I'm gonna say. All right. In other news, Paper Girls Vaughn and Shang on a series past, present, and future. Extra. Read all about it. Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Shang are returning to Paper Girls, their Eisner Award-winning ongoing series from Image Comics, bringing its planned 4-month hiatus to a close. What are you doing over there? Arriving from the past, or is it the future? ? On October 4th, Paper Girls number 16 continues to feature socially significant science fiction storytelling from Vaughn and Shang, as well as colors by Matt Wilson and letters and designs by Jared Fletcher. Ahead of the girls' return, CBR connected with Vaughn and Shang to discuss the critically acclaimed New York Times bestselling series. The Superstar creative team shared an apple-infused bushel of details about the ongoing adventures of Aaron, Mac, Tiffany, and KJ, not to mention the forthcoming hardcover collection of the series' first 10 issues, which arrives on November 1st. Vaughn, who teased that he knew how long the series would run, but wouldn't spill the beans on how many issues that is, talked about why pop culture has recently embraced the 1980s. Meanwhile, Shang revealed how Yoji Yamamoto's sports Y3 fashion designs for Adidas and mecha giants like Transformers, Gundam, and Evangelion have influenced the art of their fan-favorite comic. Please don't take it the wrong way, because it's part of what CBR loves the most about Paper Girls, but it's always felt like you're no hurry to explain what the hell is happening between the characters. But can they believe that solicitations for Paper Girl 17 appears that all that's about to change? Well, you can find out by reading an interview on CBR.com.
Now, Mark, I know that you're a fan of that book specifically. That's got to be pretty exciting.
Thanks to Brian Kozowska from Geekonomics.
He actually just voiced off here.
Yeah.
So it's one of the best series going.
It is.
Good for you, man.
Very good.
You got your finger on the pulse.
I do. Well, actually, Brian does, and I just kind of just follow along.
All right. My last news bite here. This is pretty mysterious. Headline is
Mysteries.
Tom King teases Mystery Comics project. Though Tom King's plate is pretty full with the twice monthly Batman, Mr. Miracle, and the second volume of the Vertigo title Sheriff of Babylon, it hasn't stopped him from teasing his next project. On Twitter, the DC Comics scribe offered a look at a black and white page from his upcoming comic. Sneak peek at a new secret thing, King has captioned the image, which shows a 5-panel page of a severed hand slowly engulfed in flames. The background appears to be in a barren wasteland with clouds in the far distance. 2 unintelligible structures rest on either side of the hand. Aside from these observances, not much else can be taken away from the artwork except that it looks like the handiwork of Jason Fabok of DC Comics. About an hour later, Fabok tweeted a teaser for his own secret project with a secret writer. Whatever this project is, it certainly involves a lot of snow, at least according to the caption. Looking at both pages, it's possible the ground in King's tweeted image is actually snow, which would sync up beautifully with Fabok's reveal. Both individuals are high-profile creators for DC, so there's a number of different projects the two could collaborate on. However, neither writer or artist has offered any additional details about their projects and have not confirmed that they are indeed working together at all. So this is purely speculation, but it's exciting. You know, people like sniffing around and looking for things on the internet.
That'd be pretty cool if they got together and did their own book.
There's a little bit of fodder for people to do a little bit of research.
Yeah. So check that out. And we'll be back with more here on Flinch Comic News with the convention report.
The convention report.
But first, a little bit of news about tomorrow's Thursday over at Free Lunch Comics.
Oh, yes.
We'll be back with more in just a bit here on Free Lunch Comic News.
Stay tuned. All right, so hey everybody watching it at home, or if you're supposed to be working, thanks for tuning in from your cubicle, or if you're driving.
Don't be doing that. That's not
please
good.
Disconnect. So we just went over the headlines for the recent comic news. Excuse me. I kept the water in here because usually I have a hard time with the breathing in this room for whatever reason. Maybe it's dust. I wonder. Because it's hitting him today. Any books you guys want to talk about? I was just at the comic shop. I was able to see a couple different things. You know, we'll certainly be able to cover it on the Comic Watch for sure. I did pick up the Wonder Woman Conan, and you know, I've been looking at the cover. You know, the artwork looks pretty good in here. And I noticed, and I didn't know this before, but it's a 6-issue series, which is good. It's good to know that there's going to be some Conan books coming out for the next half year. You know, and it's ad-supported by both Dark Horse and DC. There's an interesting 2-page spread here featuring the Batman Harley Quinn crossover. I guess there's a video out now, like some animated movie. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see. But it's interesting. They've got Brian Boland and Jim Lee, and they're
the Nightwing Harley Quinn one's kind of racy.
I've heard that too. Excuse me. So that's exciting. For me anyway. I picked one of the covers. I'm hoping that the other cover ships to my office. Otherwise, I bought 2 of the same thing.
That happens.
It does.
You can sell one of them.
I could.
Or give it away.
I could. So Mark's queuing that up, and I think we're getting ready to jump back in with the convention report, right?
You talk about what you guys got going on at Thirsty Thursday tomorrow?
Thirsty Thursday, no, I didn't talk about that. Basically, tomorrow night's the drink and draw, the straight up drink and draw. Last week we did the game night drink and draw, and I saw a lot of happy faces when I came in. I ended up missing part of it because I was doing a caricature gig at one of the local fairs, but good old Bobby Leach, he ran the D&D adventure, and he used a lot of my terrain stuff, which was pretty exciting. So it was nice to be able to see that being used on the tables, and it seemed like there was a ton of food, and everybody was laughing and having a good time. So I was happy about that.
Well,
so cool. Tomorrow night's just straight up drink and draw. So I'm excited for that.
Straight up.
Yep, this should be good. Good. All right, so we're going to jump back in.
Time for the convention report, my favorite part of the show. All right, so we'll do an intro, then I'll throw to your convention report.
I'll be ready.
All righty. Free Lunch Comic News back at it.
Thanks.
It's now time
Thanks for that sponsorship for the Thirsty Thursday.
Oh yeah,
that
we
was
gotta
awesome.
thank those guys. They did a great job.
Yeah, very nice.
We
appreciate their
all the
support.
stuff they pay for.
Yes.
All right. Anyways,
we need candy or some kind of snack in here.
Well, that's your job.
Well, we're gonna talk to the sponsors.
Well, that's your job.
Just letting myself know.
Yeah, let yourself know. Get in touch with yourself and let yourself know that you have to do that. All right, it's time for my favorite part of the show, the best music in podcasting. It is time for the convention report.
Oh yes, here we go.
Black Hammer.
So we're at the last week of September, and we are going to start it off with Cartoon Crossroads in Columbus, Ohio. That is September 28th, this Friday, until October 1st, Sunday. That's a big show. Also in Columbus, Ohio, we have SaulCon, and that is only on the 29th.
Man, so you've had both shows in one weekend.
I guess Columbus is a pretty big town. They've had pretty awesome comic shows in Ohio in the past. So
on the Blue Jackets.
September 30th, Richmond, Virginia, at the Richmond Raceway, Richmond Comic-Con.
I've done a show there. I've worked there once.
September 30th, Hickory, North Carolina, at the Hickory Metro Convention Center, is the Hickory Comic-Con.
Ah.
September 30th through October 1st, all 3 days of this upcoming weekend. Mount Clemens, Michigan, we've got Fantasticon at the Gibraltar Trade Center. And we also have its cousin who lives just down the road over at Birch Run, Fantasticon Birch Run, and that's going to be at the Birch Run Expo Center. Same days. That's September 30th through October 1st.
That's a tough gig.
It's pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, a lot of cons going on in that little bit of area.
I wonder how close those towns are.
Let's look it up on the interwebs.
October 1st, Essington, Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Comic-Con at the Clarion Hotel Conference Center. Ooh. That is October 1st. Also in Manahawkin, New Jersey, it's the Manahawkin Comic Book Show, and that's going to be at the Holiday Inn, Manahawkin, Long Beach Island, October 1st. Now we jump...
East Coast Mecca.
Well, yep, here it comes. October 5th through October 8th, New York City, Jacob Javits Center. It's the New York Comic-Con. Maybe I'll see you there.
Ooh. Little tease. He's teasing us.
October 7th, Schnecksville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Schnecksville.
The Lehigh Valley Comic-Con. That's at the Schnecksville Fire Hall over on Old Park House Road. Be sure to tell them we said hi. October 7th and 8th, Sacramento, California. It's the SAC Comic-Con.
Yeah, SAC-Con.
No location given. October 8th, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland Comic Card and Nostalgia Show. It's at the American Legion over on Brook Park Road in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland
October
rocks.
8th. They do rock because, well, that's a duplicate entry. Okay, October 8th, Annandale, Virginia. We've got the Schaff Promotions Comic Book and Non-Sports Card Show at the Annandale Fire Station. Excuse me. For my friends down in Georgia, Miss Munsell, October 8th, if you're in the neighborhood, Atlanta, Georgia, it's the Atlantic Comic Convention. That's going to be at the Marriott Hotel.
ATL.
October 14th through the 15th, Jacksonville, Florida, the CBC Comic Book and Toy Show at the Holiday Inn.
Ooh.
October 20th through the 22nd, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mr. Tarrant, this is in your neighborhood. Santa Fe Comic-Con at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. I love that one because it just sounds like so much fun. October 20th through the 22nd, Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's the Grand Rapids Comic-Con at DeVos Place Convention Center. Sorry, the DeVos Place Convention Center. Didn't roll off the tongue quite right.
That's right. Happens.
Next up, we have October 21st and 22nd up in Boston, Massachusetts.
Beantown.
Massachusetts Independent Comics Expo, well, also known as MICE. This is one of those independent comic shows similar in kind to the Small Press Expo, which just happened 2 weeks ago down in Steve Canaris' neighborhood in Maryland. Also similar to the Maine Comic Arts Fest up in Portland, Maine.
Cool.
October 21st and 22nd in Marlborough, Mass. Not too far from us, the Super Mega Fest Comic Con. It's going to be at the Best Western Royal Plaza Hotel and Trade Center.
I'll be there on the Saturday.
You're working there, aren't you?
I am. I'm working with our good friends over at Angry Geeks.
Be sure to say hi. He'll have a camera on his shoulder, folks. You may see him.
I will.
October 22nd, Melbourne, Florida. It's the Melbourne Toy and Comic Con at the Melbourne Auditorium. That is October 22nd for our friends in Florida. October 27th through the 29th in LA. It's Stan Lee's LA Comic Con at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Stan gets his own show.
Why wouldn't he?
I know, seriously. October 28th and 29th, Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's the Fantasticon Fort Wayne at the Grand Wayne Convention Center. No relation to the family who was shot in Gotham. October 29th, Portland, Maine. It's the Portland Comic Expo at the Portland Exposition Building. And last but not least, our friends Greg Kalajian and Scott Pellin are putting on another great show at the Golden Gavel in East Windsor, Connecticut on October 29th. It's the East of the River Comic and Collectible Show. You can go by there and you can see all of us here from the Free Lunch Comic News and Free Lunch Studios. Yep. We will be there, including Geekonomics will be there, and Brian from Twin Peaks Unwrapped.
Yeah,
I believe. There'll be a lot of our friends at the Golden Gavel. That's at the end of October, and that does it for my convention report up to the end of October.
All right, we'll be back with more our Free Lunch Comic News. Next will be Story Time with Uncle Matt.
Oh, story time.
But first, here's a little bit of news about CliffsCon. No show this coming month of October, but we'll be back in November.
Yes, November 26th.
Yes. That's Thanksgiving weekend.
That's right. That's a big weekend.
We'll be back with that and more. It is Free Lunch Comic News.
Stay tuned, friends. Mark Tarrant, we just mentioned you on the show and you tune in. I wonder if you got to hear me do your shout out.
For what?
The Buffalo, the whatever show that was. I actually mentioned him by name.
You did?
I did.
What show was it?
I'm looking right now.
Santa Fe?
Here, no, hold on. No. Yeah, it is Santa Fe. Yeah, Mark. So I don't know if you caught this or not, but I was just talking about you. I don't know how far of a drive it is to Santa Fe, New Mexico for you, but Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino, they've got a show coming up October 20th through the 22nd. Maybe that's already on your radar. I don't even know, but it's funny. I just did a shout out to you on the show, and then poof, here you are. I must be telepathetic.
Yeah, maybe we should get some of that, like the girl that come back from last time. Maybe
I don't think Ange left. Ange, are you still here?
No, the other lady that you freaked out about.
Jenny Friesen?
Yeah.
That'd be something if she tuned in. Who knows?
Who knows? We got pop up on there.
Huh? It would pop up. The tough thing is when I'm reading the convention report, my eyes are not up on that little screen.
Yeah. All right, so Cliff's Con's happening.
Angie's still there. Yeah.
Angie's never going anywhere.
She's our buddy.
She's our pal.
Barry Ween, that book. Barry Ween hasn't been out in a long time, but I know that when that book came out, that was ridiculously popular. Ridiculously popular. That's got to be kind of hard to find in some stores, I would imagine.
So we're finishing up Cliff's Con right now,
which was pretty heavily attended, I gotta say.
Yeah.
You know, we were there. Tim and I were there, and
Tim got to experience Cliff Con for the first time.
He did, and there's a young lady who she just discovered Bigger a couple. You might have been at the show when she bought it the first time, and then we saw her again at Mohegan.
Yeah.
And she
her
came.
Boyfriend was with her.
Yes, that's right. Well, she loves that book, and you know it's pretty awesome to see that that Bigger can still create that reaction.
For those years of Bigger, isn't it?
Huh?
Is it 20 years of Bigger?
20th anniversary of Free Lunch Comics is coming up, and I can tell you with certainty that I have plans for that anniversary that are going to knock
your socks off.
Everybody's socks off. Like, you're not even ready for the things that I have planned.
I've heard some of the rumors, and they're pretty intense.
You've heard rumors? I love that. I love that.
Well, you've mentioned some things to me, like...
Well,
in passing.
Yeah, see, I'm super secretive about a lot of my projects, but I will tell you that this 20th anniversary, I am off the... like, Tim will tell you, like, we are working so hard on some of these projects. It's awesome. It's very, very exciting. So it's going to be a very thrilling year. Very thrilling. Exhausting and thrilling. So we're doing the sponsorship of Cliff's Cons. We were just talking about how it was heavily attended. It was good. And what's nice about that show, it's air conditioned, and it was really hot that day. Honestly, I thought that our numbers were going to suffer because it was like a really nice summer day, probably the last gasp of a summer weekend. But the numbers were really good for a nice little show, you know, where at its core it's just about buying and selling comics. It's a great show. You know, you can go there. What did I pick up? I picked up Avengers Forever by Kurt Busiek and Carlos Pacheco. I got the whole series for $10, and that's unheard of. And I got a couple more Stray Bullets, which Mark knows is one of my favorite series.
Yes.
Not for everybody. Not for everybody.
I still got to read number 1 that you gave.
You got to read that. It's so bad. It's good.
So bad it's good.
Yes.
All right, so we're coming back.
And we're going to do what? Story time.
Story time with Uncle Matt. He's going to tell us all about his adventures at HorrorCon, Connecticut.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
So stay tuned for that.
No.
And we do have the person in charge of HorrorCon, Connecticut with us.
She was watching, yeah. She was.
Yeah, so you better talk good things.
Oh, I did. I totally did. And I will again.
Okay.
I will repeat myself, good. Without a doubt.
All right. And we're coming back. All right, welcome back to Free Lunch Comic News.
Yeah.
Mark and Matt here with you. Now it's time for another one of my favorite segments of the show. It's Story Time with Uncle Matt, where Matt tells us all about his adventures of traveling around to different cons as a local artist and all the different adventures he's come across. So take it away, Uncle Matt.
All right. Well, I did my first.
The fire crackles in the background.
Yes. Where I've got my smoking jacket on, and
pulls out his glass of cognac
and my bubble pipe. I did my first horror convention last weekend, and Mark, your sister, was kind enough to volunteer with me at the show.
Because I will not go to those.
It was in Danbury, Connecticut.
Not because I don't like, but just because I don't do horror stuff.
Oh, see, yeah, it was pretty intense. It was in Danbury, Connecticut, in the Danbury. You said the Danbury Arena,
former home of the Danbury Whalers.
So literally, they had the ice covered up. they had boards covering up the ice for all the tables to vend, and I was very excited to sell these zombie hunting permit stickers. I was kind of nervous.
It's quite an inventive idea you came up with there.
Well, I was nervous about. I was
realistic.
nervous about going to do a horror show and not like Mark has said that, you know, one of his favorite books that I've done is The Terror of Wellfleet.
It is.
And it's a small book.
It is.
And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to represent myself well at that show. So I made something even smaller.
No, but I had some of Norman's stuff, right? You took some of Norman's stuff with you?
I did have some of Norman's vampire-themed work, and I also had my...
His Ladies of the Evening, is that what they call them?
I also had my zombie Nerf target set up, which was a lot of fun. So it made it kind of an interactive experience.
You had your zombie caricatures going as well?
Yeah. And let me just tell you that I did that for the whole show.
Yeah,
the first zombie caricature was a foursome. They all wanted to be, and I bring these.
Each their own. We're not discriminating around here.
I bring a big 18 by 24 drawing pad to these shows. So if someone wants a really big picture of themselves or someone that they love, they can commission me to do that. And I don't charge a ton to do that.
No, it's very nominal.
Once I did that group,
then it's like
it never stopped. And
I told you that's what happens. It happens every time you do it.
Well, sometimes.
Once you get one, it's like once you pop, you can't stop.
In some venues, you're very right.
Yeah.
So I remember Kylie saying to me at like 3 p.m, "Wow, this day's going by so fast." And
it does that when you're selling things.
Yes, and she was a great volunteer, a great support system for me because I really didn't have to engage with anybody. As soon as someone came up, they had a picture, or they would stand there, and I would draw them. And Kylie just ran the booth, and everything was working out really nice. Some of the scariest looking people I've ever seen in my life. They had
their costumes.
Well, right. If the people could come up and say hi to me, I wouldn't even know who they were.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, it's like that's.
They had pieces of their face missing and parts sewn together, and there was blood everywhere. So you would turn around and be like, "Oh, I'd be happy to draw." You know, but it was great, and they were the nicest people, and I think they were out of their minds. Excited to be there. It felt like the Halloween season really kicking off, like in that space.
Yeah.
So, big shout out to Rob and Christine for putting on a great show. Another thing that they did, they checked on me.
What?
Repeatedly. Are you okay?
That never happened.
How's everything going? That's really nice.
Well, it's not true. Cliff does that.
Cliff checks in with me. Mitchell check in with me.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't because he's my neighbor.
No. He just turns like good. Great.
He and I just heckle each other through the whole thing. And just to rewind a little bit, and I don't know if we mentioned this on the show, but Scott Pellin mentioned that he watches or listens to the show.
Yes.
And he gave us like the sweetest compliment. He said that he likes sipping his coffee and listening to the show.
Well, I enjoy watching his auctions that he does on the old Facebook.
What a great thing they're doing.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to work with him on burgeoning that, possibly. I'm going to see if I can sit down with him and work on that.
What, you're going to try to sell some of your stuff?
No. Like help him perfect the art.
Very cool. Very cool. So, the Horror Comic-Con in Danbury, Connecticut. What a great experience. I can't say enough. Congratulations to Christine and Rob for putting on a great show. I can't say enough about them. It was great. I saw friends from our neck of the woods all the way out there in Danbury who were excited to see the guests and all the things that were going on. Tough thing for Kylie and me, we did not get to see the show. It was, it's just like the Mohegan thing.
Like, it's not like the worst thing that happened to you,
but it's tough. Like you finally get a minute to walk around and everybody's gone.
Like Trificon, I don't think I saw more than a couple rows of it.
But that's a compliment to the promoter. Hey. They did their job, and I think that promoters that put on great shows, they understand
Well, it's
that.
almost a compliment to you as well that your stuff's so good that people had you busy all day long.
It is. Well, it's a compliment to the customer too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. A big thank
Take
you.
a compliment, Matthew.
Big
It's
thank
okay to be
you
confident.
from the big cushy chair in the lounge
Yes.
here at Cox Communications, where we do story time with Uncle Matt
And Freelance Comic
we'll take a break, and I'll take a big hit off my bubble pipe,
Yes.
and we'll be back with Comic Watch.
Or Comic Watch, our picks of books that are out now. But first, a little news about a little tiny podcast called Geekonomics,
Geekonomics.
hosted by Brian Kazaska and myself, where we talk about all things nerd. So here's a little bit of info about that, and be back in just a bit with more Free Lunch Comic News.
BRB, as my daughter would say. So we had one of the Hartford Whalers actually watching us.
Wow.
Yeah, Melfa Magnesia was just tuning in, which is pretty exciting. Hello.
You get really excited about those.
Yes, compared to your job, my job is ridiculously cushy. Oh, and Mike Rattray. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy?
How's it going?
Mike, you graduated, I'm sure, by now, right? Oh, that's awesome. Good to see your name there, Mike. Good to see you. So right now, Geekonomics is running their promo right now. It's
Yes.
You've been running that podcast for like 5 years? Is that right?
Oh God, it feels more than that. We just passed, or we're close to 425 shows.
Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot.
We've missed a couple weeks because of vacations and illnesses
Yeah.
recently. Because I wasn't around Monday because I was at the NASCAR race over the weekend, so I didn't get back in time. And Brian was sick the week before.
Where was
so-
the NASCAR race?
New Hampshire.
Oh, nice. How was it?
It was good. Good time. It was very warm.
Yeah, it was warm everywhere.
Yeah, it was very warm.
Hi, Christy. We've got people watching from all over the country today.
Wow.
So Christy is down in Maryland, I believe.
Oh.
So I think we listed a couple of shows. Her son was just photographed with. He was cosplaying at Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh, very nice.
Because I don't think they went to the independent show. I think they went to the regular comic show, but. They ended up getting a couple great photos.
But branching off story time with Uncle Matt, Kelly was photographed for the newspaper for the last
at
show.
the HorrorCon.
And I was photographed for the show before that.
I know. I'm never around when
Team
these
Warnock
things.
is kicking
I know.
ass. We're racking up the photos.
We got to get Josh in a
We're
photo.
wrapping up the press for Free Lunch Comics.
We got to get Josh in the photo.
No, that's all right. You too.
So we appreciate everybody tuning in here on Facebook,
Yes.
and and obviously we appreciate everybody tuning in on the podcast too. We'll thank them at the end when they can hear, but
Yes.
we love being able to bring you, kind of this exclusive look at what we're doing in this
Little behind the scenes, or little.
in this little audio studio
You
here.
need to bring the sign with you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I want to bring a better one.
Yeah. We can make one for the Free Lunch Comic News.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're planning on doing. Mark came up with a great idea. We're planning on doing one in front of the camera.
Yes. We're going to do a live full
In a couple months, right?
I think probably around Christmas time we'll probably do it.
That'll be fun.
Be nice to transition into possibly doing that down the road.
Like all the time.
Yeah, possibly.
Does that mean I have to shave?
No.
The great thing about radio is you don't have to look good.
No, you have to shave. Someone has a long thing that goes to.
If you get a chance, check out the Legend of Zelda metal tribute
I
band,
saw that. Oh.
Descendants of Erdrick. Huh.
Oh.
That's a little off the
Are you
top
in
right
that
here.
band, or are you just...
She loves it, I
Promoting
guess.
it.
Check out the Legend of Zelda metal tribute band, Descendants of Erdrick. Do you play that?
Legends of Zelda?
Yeah.
No, Brian does.
I heard that it's on the...
There's a comic for it now, too. Who's in here?
It really?
Yeah. Who's towards the front?
It was towards the front. I wonder. It's a Dark Horse.
I want to say Dark Horse. There's a big double bow like right there.
Oh, it's the art. Okay,
Yeah.
so I see your comment, and I respond with 2 hardcovers that are actually available. They're both resolicited. I don't know if you've seen those. This is why people tune in to the Facebook live feed, because they get, they get some good chewy stuff.
Exclusive stuff. Oh, we got more stuff.
So,
I can't read that far away.
she's a fan of the band. The lead guitarist is Andrew WK's live band. Well, okay. So back, yes.
Yes.
So, Ange, these are not cheap. One goes for $40, and the other goes for $35. The legend.
Christmas coming. So ask for Christmas.
Yeah, get your husband to buy it. Make a face. Art and Artifacts hardcover contains over 400 pages of fully realized illustrations from the entire 30-year history of The Legend of Zelda. Excuse me, including artwork from the upcoming Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This book includes rare promotional pieces, game box art, instruction booklet illustrations, official character illustrations, sprite art, and more. It's 9 by 12, and 424 pages. Then this other one is The Legend of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia.
Ooh.
This is containing an unparalleled collection of historical information on the Legend of Zelda franchise. This handsome hardcover contains never-before-seen concept art, the full history of Hyrule, official chronology of all the games, and much more. Excuse me. Starting with an insightful introduction by the legendary producer and video game designer of Donkey Kong, Mario, and The Legend of Zelda, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yes, Miyamoto.
You know this guy?
He is the Mr. Nintendo. He invented pretty much everything.
This book is crammed full of information about the storied history of Link's adventures.
It's kind of like Madonna. He just goes by Miyamoto.
So, there you go. Yeah. So if you're a big nut for that stuff, I'll give you another.
Brian Kazaska and James Cloder are huge nuts for that.
Is that right? There you go. There's the covers. Very similar in kind.
Brian bought a whole gaming system just to play Legends of Zelda.
That sucker's 276 pages. It's 9 by 12 as well, so they would look really nice next to each other.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
Brian, don't buy those.
Brian, don't buy those.
Yeah. Well, you got Christmas coming.
Christmas is coming.
I'd buy him something for Christmas.
Well, that's a nice gift.
Well,
You're a good
guy.
You're a good friend.
Well, we are pals.
All right.
Oh. And thank you, everyone. We just earned a badge on Facebook Live. Conversation starter, 50 comments.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know, but it looks cool.
Cool! Yay! Thanks, everybody.
Just like credits, like those things you used to get on Xbox where it pop up. Like little things.
Oh, badges. Cool! I don't know what that is.
I know you don't do video games because you're old.
We're not sponsored by. I'm an award-winning game contributor. Did you know that? I got Shareware Game of the Year one year. I'm not going to say what year, but I used to work on video games.
1982.
I will punch you in the crotch. Hi, Sarah Bevo, Dennis. Hello. How are you? Thanks for joining us. You're watching the Free Lunch Comic News. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live. We're actually preparing.
We call this the bunker.
We're in the bunker.
Just so you know.
And we're actually preparing the podcast for later listening. And right now, everybody's listening to the Geekonomics spot still.
It's a very long spot.
It's a long spot because you know what? We had a really good conversation with one of the viewers.
Thumbs up to you, whoever thumbs us up.
It might have been Sarah who gave us thumbs up. So it's possible.
Thumbs up to you.
So thank you. Right back at you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh. Hey, love you too. Thank you. And we had a wow thingamabob. Thank you. I grabbed it. All right, so we're gonna have to hand this hot plate back and forth. So
do you want to do it that way, or do you want to just do one then the others?
Huh? Well, did you want to talk about this first?
We can do that first.
Because these are definitely not out right now.
No, I know, but they're on.
We kind of missed the ball on that one.
That was supposed to be part of the news.
Yeah.
We do it every week. We forget to talk about it, so we figured we should probably do it.
Okay.
Since this is October is coming, so
it is coming.
It's like winter out here.
Yes.
All right,
here we go.
Let's launch this ship.
So stay tuned, Facebook Live. We're coming back in. Nothing's going to change for you. We're just going to jump right back in.
Welcome back to Free Lunch Comic News. Matt's having issues with his Facebook Live right now.
No, nothing happened.
But we forgot this during the comic watch, or our free lunch from the comic news,
yeah.
I should say, if I could speak English. Coming up October 28th at your local comic book shop is going to be the Halloween Comic Fest. There'll be a whole bunch of books that you can get for free, just like Comic Book Day.
Yeah, it's like a mini free comic day.
So you got Marvel's. Some of the books Marvel's going to have is Runaways #1, a version of that. They'll do Darth Maul #1 for Star Wars fans. There'll also be a Thor by Walt Simonson.
I love that with Hela on the cover.
Yeah, old school. It's going to be a perfect time for Ragnarok. You're right around that time frame.
Yeah,
That'll be coming out soon.
Smart.
A bunch of other comics. Kodansha. Is that how you say it?
What are you looking
Kodansha
at?
Comics.
Oh yeah, with Battle Angel Alita.
Battle
That's
Angel
awesome.
Alita, Sailor Moon Eternal edition preview. The Yen Press will have the Mortal Instruments. New England Comics has got another Tick, which they always do for free lunch. For
free lunch.
For free comic book day. UNEC has got a Malika book coming out, which the cover looks pretty cool.
UNEC?
UNEC.
Unique.
Oh, is that what I say?
I thought it was Young Neck.
I don't know.
Look at that neck.
Malika, the Dragon Trials.
It's a nice picture.
It does look really cool. Viz Media has Junji Ito's Shiva.
Shiver. Yeah,
oh,
very pretty cover.
Those weird names. Zenescope Entertainment has Grim Tales of Terror.
It's funny, like a lot of these things look like they're targeting an older audience. Now it looks like there's the kid stuff. There's the kid stuff.
The mini comics for Halloween, the Halloween Comic Fest pack.
Here's the
Pokemon.
one. Yeah, that's where the kids are going to lose their minds right there.
American Mythology has Casper the Friendly Ghost. Antarctic Press has Gao, yeah, that's really cute. Ankara Studio and Arcana Studio.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Has Howard Lovecraft and the Undersea Kingdom. Boom Studios has Boom Boxes 1 in Haunted Evening 2017. IDW Publishing has a Donald Duck's Halloween Scream #2, so you must have missed #1. But didn't get it last year. Archie Comics has Archie's Madhouse Returns. Lion Forge has wrapped up. I believe there's a couple more here. Let me just double check here. Yep, there is. Paper Cuts has Hotel Transylvania.
My kids would love that one.
Graphics has The Witch Boy. Space Goat Productions has Moonlighters. Also from Paper Cuts is a Stitched book, and Viz Media, of course, has a Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire 2-pack.
Yeah, so that's that last weekend. That's the last Saturday in October. They do something really almost like they're, instead of giving away candy, they give away little comics.
Now those mini comics are actually charged for. You can't just get those for free. So.
Oh, good catch there! Wow.
So all those you have to pay like $5 for. They're a mini comic bundle of 25.
Oh, it's a bundle, so you're getting for $5. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So it's an alternative to giving away.
Yeah, so you buy those and give them away for Halloween instead of giving away candy. Give away comic books. I actually like that idea. I actually might do that this year.
I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, I dig it.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, I dig it.
All right, so I'm gonna jump off that and I'm gonna get into the comic watch.
Yeah, but now it's time for the comic watch. We tell you about books that are either coming out or are out now, and we're telling you about all the books that are out on the shelves now, the books that we think you should be reading.
Yes, I've heard some really great things about this book right here, Dark Knight's Metal. I've got a customer who comes into my store. He's been ranting and raving about it, and I saw it at the store. It looks pretty awesome. You got written by Scott Snyder and art and cover by Greg Capullo.
They're both at Trificon.
That is a great team. That is a great team.
Yeah.
So you've got the next one, Mark.
This one, I saw the cover for it, and I think it's awesome looking, and I think it's going to be a very funny, interesting story. It's called Dastardly and Muttley, #1, written by Garth Ennis, art and cover by Morissette, variant cover by Liam Sharp. The red letter day for the good folk on Lycostan as they start to power up their first atomic reactor, but after pushing the wrong button, the ultra-rare radioactive element Unstabilism has been released into the atmosphere. Now it's up to pilot Lieutenant Colonel Richard Dick Astley and
is it Dick Dastardly?
Dick Astley. I think it's something happens, and that's why they become Dashley.
Richard Dick Atcherley. It is Atcherley.
And his navigator, Captain Dudley Muller, to save the day. Will they safely complete their mission, or are things about to get a little wacky? On sale September 6th, actually. 32 pages, full color, 1 of 6, $3.99 each. So out there now.
So if that's something you're looking for, you better get there quick because it's been solicited for a while.
Yeah.
My next book that you should be looking for, it's going to be a tougher find. This is from IDW. It's going to be a hardcover. It's called Eleonora Mandragora, Daughter of Merlin. Written by Séverine Gauthier. Art by Thomas Laboureau. It's basically a fantasy graphic novel for all ages, as quirky as Roald Dahl, and as whimsical as Disney, and as beautiful as Miyazaki. This is a $15, 64-page graphic album, so you may have better luck finding this one at like Barnes & Noble. I can't imagine you're going to be finding this on too many comics shelves. In a quiet forest, the young Eleonora follows the teaching of her father, Merlin the wizard. Unexpectedly, though, he is killed by the horrible shriek of a mandrake root through his ghost, though his ghost will not rest. So with the help of Eleonora, Merlin's ghost won't stay dead for long, and the forest will never be the same. So like I said, this is a hardcover book. Looks very pretty and very cute. So IDW, and I think it doesn't have a date here, but I'm guessing that it's on the shelves now. I hope so. Don't make me look bad.
Yeah. Books.
And Mark's jumping into IDW here.
Yes. My next book, I saw the cover for it, and it looks really cool. I'm going to have to get into the first part of this. Half Past Danger 2. Dead to Rights #1. Writer-artist Stephen Mooney. Colorist Triona Tree Farrell. Covers by Stephen Mooney, Nick Runge, Declan Shavley, and
Declan Shavley, yeah.
Declan Shavley, and Jordi Belair. Nobody talks about how many dinosaurs died in World War II, but 3 months after Sergeant Tommy Irish Flynn and Captain John Noble wiped them out while foiling a Nazi plan, the boys are back, hot on the trail of some dino DNA stolen by their former ally, Agent Elizabeth Huntington Moss. The Nazis must be stopped before they can unleash their doomsday weapon. The stakes are high, the board is set, and the action is hard-boiled. This time, Half Past Danger. Of the first volume, UnleashTheFanboy.com said, a total triumph of imagination with great design, stunning art, and so much potential. IDW has struck gold with this miniseries. So you can check that out. Full color, 32 pages, $3.99.
I've actually read parts of the first series. It was really good.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah, very, very fun.
Yeah.
Next, I'm jumping into the image section. I actually picked this book up. It's called Scales and Scoundrels #1 by Sebastian Gerner, and the art and cover is by Galad. This came out in the beginning of the month. It's a fantasy book, very cartoony look with some cool watercolory coloring effects. The synopsis here says it's hard to make an honest living in a land brimming with magic and mystery, and treasure hunter Lavender is tired of being a penniless adventurer. Ever in search of gold and glory, she sets off for a fabled dungeon, the Dragon's Maw, an ancient labyrinth at the bottom of which slumbers endless wealth or certain doom. So this is a regular comic, 32 pages, $4. That's from Image Comics. It doesn't have a date here. Oh no, September 6th as well. So if you're going to find this, you better be aggressive, be aggressive, and get your butt to the comic store and get it. Always you can find it on Amazon or DCBS or whatever.
Yeah, or your other local comic book places will be able to get it for you. Also from Image Comics, The Realm #1 series premiere came out September 13th, so not too long ago. 15 years ago, our world was overrun by creatures of myth, orcs, dragons, and other nameless horrors threw the entire planet into total chaos. Today, the shattered remnants of civilization must fight just to survive in a deadly new era of violence and mayhem. While a powerful sorcerer marshals his forces, a group of warriors embark on a journey to reclaim our world from the growing darkness. An all-new post-apocalyptic high fantasy adventure series from co-creators Stephen M. Peck of X-Men fame and Jeremy Hahn of The Beauty, featuring colors by Nick Filardi and letters by Thomas Maurer. 32 pages, $3.99, mature readers only.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids, this isn't for you.
We're in the fantasy realm today. Did you notice that?
I've noticed.
My next pick.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. This is on shelves as of, I believe, last Wednesday. Wonder Woman Conan crossover. The first issue hit the stands. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it's got good colors. The artwork looks pretty decent. It's Aaron Lopresti on the art, and it's Gail Simone on the writing, and the other Matt Ryan on the inks. I will beg again, if you ever want to take a month off and let me jump in and cover you for one of those months. Good news, the credit won't have to change. No one will ever know but us. That is my pick from the DC neck of the woods, Wonder Woman Conan crossover. Dark Horse is credited as a co-publisher on that project. That just came out, so it should be on the rack.
My next pick is, I don't think it's out yet, I'm not quite sure, but it's Journey to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Star Wars, Captain Phasma, written by Thomas and art by Cacchetto. You can check that out. It's going to be
Thompson and
Marvel,
Cacchetto.
Disney, Lucasfilm product.
I'm pretty
Looks
sure.
really awesome. I
I'm
think
pretty
it's just
sure
about to
that
come
was.
out, or
Yeah,
is
I think
coming
that
out.
was just recently on your comic
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah, I was picking it again because it's so good.
Yeah, I understand that, because you know what? I'll get to one of those too. You know what? I'll jump ahead. You do one of yours that you did before. I'll do one of mine. On the shelves now, this is going to be a tougher one to find, but Poppies of Iraq from Drawn and Quarterly. This is the husband-wife team up with Brigitte Findley and Louis Trondheim working together to tell his wife's story. Poppies of Iraq is Brigitte's nuanced chronicle of her relationship with her homeland, Iraq, co-written and drawn by her husband, the acclaimed cartoonist Louis Trondheim. In spare and elegant detail, they share memories of her middle-class childhood, touching on cultural practices, the education system, Saddam Hussein's state control, and her family's history as Orthodox Christians in an Arab world. Poppies of Iraq is intimate and wide-ranging. The story of how one can become separated from one's homeland and still feel intimately connected, yet ultimately estranged. So this is one of those smaller graphic novels, similar in kind to the Dungeon graphic novels that NBM puts out. It's 112 pages, full color, $22. I've got it. It looks gorgeous. I can't give a full honest review of it yet, but from what I've read so far, it is very good.
So my next pick is actually it's called Rachel Rising.
Oh,
Omnibus is out, soft cover. Rachel rises from the grave to track down her own murderer in this chilling tale of suspense, with the help of a 10-year-old serial killer carrying the remains of Satan's sword, and a sister who was literally the first woman to ever exist. Rachel uncovers the wicked secrets of small-town Manson and its terrible role in Earth's final days. Can Rachel learn from her past in time to save the future? Find out in this collection of the critically acclaimed series by Terry Moore. It's 900 pages,
Ooh.
$55 from the Omnibus.
Well, and you know what's great about that? Terry Moore just got greenlit for Strangers in Paradise TV show. So congratulations.
Now, if you are not willing to spend the $55 for the full 900 pages book, they do have the individual volumes out. Volume 1, Shadow of Death, is $16.99. Fear No Malice is also, they're all $16.99. Volume 2, Volume 5, 6, and 7 have all been released.
Yeah, that series has been around for a while, so it's kind of
Yeah.
nice that they're putting it in there for a Halloween release. That's really smart. Really, really smart. Good pick, Mark.
Thank you.
I know a couple of friends who really enjoyed that. This is a pick for Chris Fazakis. John Wick #1 should be on the shelves now from Dynamite Entertainment. 32 pages, $4. Not for the kids. John Wick Book of Rules Part 1. When a young John Wick emerges from prison and embarks on his first epic vendetta, he comes up against a strange, powerful community of assassins and must learn how to master the Book of Rules that guides their lethal business. And here for the first time, read the thrilling origin story of John Wick from the Planet Hulk writer Greg Pak and Dark Horse Presents artist Giovanni Valletta. So they got some heat on here. I also want to let you know that there's a variant cover, by Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz. Holy smokes.
Gotta be one of those over there.
It's that one right there. Wow.
That looks pretty epic.
That is awesome. A lot of people be losing their minds about that one, specifically Chris Fazakis.
Fazakis! Now, we've talked about this book before as well, but since it's in this book, I figure we talk about it again.
Well, it's on the shelves.
It's called Dead of Winter.
That's right. I remember you liked this before.
I did like it, and number 2 is out. It was out a couple weeks ago. It's a mature reader book as well, 32 pages, $3.99. Stuck in a freezing zombie apocalypse that is Dead of Winter. How could things get any worse for our intrepid heroes? How about they get blown up and rescued by a drunk mall Santa? How about being held captive in a police station by an insane police officer while it slowly becomes overrun by zombies? And that's being stuck between a rock and a hard place, friends. It's written by Kyle Starks, art and colors by Gabo, cover art by Brian Hurt, and also Bill Crabtree. Dead of Winter number 2.
Very cool. We're coming up on my last picks. I'm just going to rattle them off right next to each other. They're both from Titan Comics. The first one is The Beautiful Death, number 1. I keep looking for this. I didn't find it. By Matthew Bablé. The apocalypse has been and gone. The age of humanity is at its end. Horrifying insectile aliens from the depths of infinite space are now masters of the earth. Mark and I were looking through the preview art of this thing before we came on the show. Oh my God, it looks so good. And with that, I will segue to my last pick from Titan Comics. Everybody's loving that Hercules Wrath of the Heavens book. It is so nicely done. It's fun to look at. Written by J.D. Morvan and artists Lookie and Phil. This reminds me of the old heavy metal anthologies from like 10 years ago. It's sitting on my table in my lobby at the office. I love it. It's fantastic. And I think that's all of our picks for the month, right? For the Comic Watch.
Comic Watch.
So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the free lunch comic news pertaining to for everything that pertains to Free Lunch Studios. So we want to thank you for tuning in. Those are the books that are hitting the shelves right now, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Sorry, just getting some fast breaking news, so I just wanted to check that before we got going here. We'll be back with that and just a bit more. In just a bit, here it is on Free Lunch Comic News.
Excuse me. All right, so.
Did you know today's National Comic Book Day?
No.
It is.
Well, isn't every Wednesday National Comic Day?
Well, no, that's what it's saying on here.
What does that mean?
NCBD.
I think they just mean Wednesday.
No, really?
Yeah, I would think so. So, right now, hey, Brian.
New Comic Book Day, that's what they're calling it.
Matt, my daughter finds your voice very soothing. She's falling asleep. Well,
I usually fall asleep.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen. Sometimes I can hit that certain register that can be quite hypnotic.
When he talks, you usually fall asleep as well, Kathleen. So,
well, for you, it's the subject matter.
Usually, yeah. It's usually every time he opens his mouth. That's right out.
So what's the sponsor we're doing right now?
I do want to thank our friends over at Geekonomics Podcast for sharing Free Lunch Comic Book News.
Oh, thank you.
Our Facebook page. I'm assuming that's Brian who's doing that. So I appreciate Brian. I usually try to do that.
Thanks, Brian.
But actually shared our live feed right there.
Oh, we love that.
Our Twitter.
That'll help.
It wouldn't be a bad thing if Twin Peaks Unwrapped did the same, since Twin Peaks Unwrapped actually has people that listen and follow it. But anyways, going back into the show, it's time for the Free Lunch Menu, where we talk about all things going on at the Free Lunch.
Do you have to do the sponsor first?
Oh yeah, sponsors is Twin Peaks Unwrapped.
Oh, perfect timing.
Surprisingly
What
enough.
a great segue.
Why wouldn't it be?
So,
Award-winningly nominated. Twin Peaks Unwrapped.
While Mark cues that up, I will say that is the only podcast that I've ever loyally listened to.
Yeah, thanks.
Week by week.
I appreciate
I'm sorry. It's what was great about it.
You know what? We've had you on our other show.
I know.
And you've never even listened to it. You don't even listen to this show, and you're on it.
Well, wouldn't it be weird?
I don't listen to any of my shows. But
So, well, then there you go. I've listened to Geekonomics in the most.
In the bathroom.
No, that's so the Twin Peaks one. Great show, great podcast, and I wish Ben and Brian the best of luck because now the challenge is there. Can they maintain that strength? With the absence of the show, and I know that you've got the book coming out in a couple weeks, and that'll help for you to rebound off of. But I wish you the best of luck, and I will.
But they're slowly, from what I hear,
they're
slowly going through the cast.
Yes, and I will continue to tune in.
Getting all the different.
They're very respectful. Like they do not. They don't hold the stars over the coals to get information out of them, at least not on air, which is respectful. So I think that they'll continue to get guests because the bottom line is they're very respectful to the guests that they get on, which is pretty fantastic. So yeah, great podcast. Congratulations on all of your success. I get it, and I hope to continue to get it. I'm looking forward to buying the Blu-ray when it comes out in December.
Twin Peaks Unwrapped Blu-ray?
Yeah, no, the Twin Peaks Season 3. So, very exciting stuff.
I'm trying to convince them to go to the Facebook Live route. I think that'd be a cool add-on to that show.
Oh, that would be cool. They do a lot of... What's great about their
stuff.
Well, what's great about their show is it's supported with clips, so I don't think they would have the ability to do it as quickly as we do.
Well, they also do a lot of pre-recording of interviews.
Yes.
Of things that haven't come out.
And they beautifully segue back into the show, which artfully done. Very nice. Very nicely done.
A lot of editing.
Yes. That's why I don't think they could do it
live.
live.
Done by Ben Durant.
Yeah, that's why I don't... he does that?
Yeah, he does all the editing.
See, he does a great job.
So he's up late nights till 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
It sounds...
And he has a real job, too. And he has kids, which is even more crazy.
All right, so that was about Twin Peaks Unwrapped. This is it, folks, on Facebook Live. This is our last segment, so we want to thank you for tuning in.
We do.
This is, in my humble opinion, where I communicate the most important part.
This is the segment where I had to force Matt to do, basically, is what it boils down to.
Say it again?
This is the segment I had to force you to do.
Well, yeah, but it is really important, though. So I'm very excited to share the upcoming free lunch comic-specific information.
Yeah, get the word out. Oh. All right, you ready?
I am always ready.
All right. Oh. You sure?
Totally.
Doesn't sound like it, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're back here in Village Comic News. It's time for your free lunch menu, where Matt tells you about all the things going on over at the Free Lunch Studios in Terriffill, Connecticut, located in a beautiful mill setting.
Oh, yes.
In downtown Terriffill.
Downtown.
Where you can check out all the stuff that goes on with Matt Ryan and all the fun things at Free Lunch. Matt, hit us with the menu.
So, it's a very exciting time. We're flirting with October, and we've got a lot of special events going on at Free Lunch, starting off with, tomorrow night we've got the Thirsty Thursday. But Friday, we have a drop-in drawing and painting for teens class that's open to all ages, and you're going to love what we're going to be doing. We're actually going to be doing a character design workshop that's linked to Dungeons & Dragons.
What?
Yeah, so they're actually going to be able to build their character visually, and then we're going to start having them roll off strengths and weaknesses to work with that specific character.
Ooh, man, that sounds like a good time.
It is going to be a good time, and I'm going to guide them along the way.
In-depth project right there.
Teach a little bit of anatomy and texture so that they can, fully render their characters. The next day, on Saturday, we're going to host a secret. Well, it's not really a secret anymore. We're calling it.
Posted about it, so it can't be secret.
Well, I know, but it's a secret D&D session. It's going to start at noon on Saturday, where you can use that character, and we're going to just do a quick 4-hour adventure.
It'd be weird if it was secret because I know what show up.
Well, I'm hoping the opposite, so that's why I put that secret thing. Give it a little bit behind the curtain kind of feel.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and then Sunday we're going to host our first ever miniature painting workshop.
Wow.
Yeah, so then you could bring in, like, I can show the...
like miniature paints.
Yeah, like I can show...
Painting miniature figures, you mean.
People who are watching...
Not just miniature paintings.
Right. I can show the people watching Facebook Live, but we can get these little characters from your local game shop.
Like a miniature figure.
Yeah. You know, in Bones, Reaper puts out these Bones characters.
Yeah.
They're like $2.50, $3,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a paint session from 11 to 3 on Sunday.
See, that makes more sense. When you said miniature paintings, like you're just like
like little itsy bitsy canvases. No, it's all game related. All game related. So we're calling it Fantasy Weekend, and that'll be Sunday at 11, and then we'll go into the Monday Night Jam and stuff like that, and then. That following Wednesday, we're bringing back the Wednesday Night Comic and Manga Club. And that is a class. It has been a while, but that's a class where the students come in and they actually produce either a 5 or 8 page story. And if they meet the deadline by the end of the 9th week, it gets published in an actual comic. And it's a lot of fun. It's all ages, and it runs Wednesday nights from 6 until 7. So very, very excited about that.
That's how my sister got involved in the freelance.
And she did a great job.
Yeah.
So we do probably 4 books a year for that Wednesday Night Comic and Manga Club.
That's pretty cool.
It is very cool. And the students have the ability to buy additional copies so they can share them with their friends and family. So it's a lot of fun.
Any shows you got coming up? Any events you can find you out at?
I'll be at the New York Comic Con looking for work on Thursday, right after the Wednesday Night Comic and Manga Club, and then I will be back. I try to get a lot of free stuff for my friends back home, so I try to fill my backpack with a lot of free swag, as the kids would say. So I'll be doing that. Root for me that day, and then. Man, it just sounds so busy. So it's going to go to the Wednesday Night Comic and Manga Club. Then it's going to go to the New York Comic Con.
Yes.
Then I'm going to do Drawing and Painting for Teens, which is a regular ongoing Friday class that meets from 4 to 6:30.
Yeah.
And then, Saturday into Sunday is the 24-hour comic challenge.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be intense.
It always is. So
I did the 5-hour one, and I almost had a coronary, so I don't know how 24 hours.
24-hour, no sleep. You start at noon on a Saturday, you finish noon on Sunday.
Oh, man.
And then the following day, it's back to the Monday Night Jam, and you get the idea. It's like Thursday.
When do you sleep?
At night.
Does that work?
No, never at work. I don't want to start that path, you know what I'm saying?
You got that nice comfy couch in that other room.
I've never.
Probably.
I will never.
I will. If I ever do anything that's 24 hours, I would probably be there.
I know Free Lunch will be at the Guilford Library at some point in October. We're going to be doing something for them.
We also have the East of the River Comics and Collectibles.
East of the River Comic and Collectible. That's at the end of the month. And then we also have that same weekend, the Thursday before that weekend, we're going to do the adult King of Monster Mountain tournament, so you can drink and take out your friends. And then the Saturday before Halloween is the King of Monster Mountain tournament for kids. And then Sunday is the East of the River Comic Show. So,
non-stop. It just keeps going.
I'm just thinking about my life now.
The train just keeps rolling down the track.
I'm thinking about taking a nap on the couch. So, yeah, and during all that, I'll be working on my freelance stuff. I can tell you I'm working on a book cover right now that's coming out pretty good for a fantasy novel. And, Yeah, and like I said earlier in the show, Tim and I are working on some pretty exciting things. I will show this off to the Facebook Live community. We actually produced these fun zombie hunting permits for New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. I meant to give you a Massachusetts one, and I screwed up and I grabbed the wrong state.
That's fine.
I will be bringing you a New York. I almost did it again, but I will be bringing you a Massachusetts one. When I see you next, but
I can also use a Connecticut one since I do travel. I do work.
You want them both? You put them both on the old bumper sticker.
They're not going on my car. But
No. Oh, you know what? I had them produced by a car wrap company.
That's cool.
Yeah, like you could actually put it on your windshield where you used to put your emissions sticker, and it would totally take the beating. But that kind of
it's cool.
Oh, that's everything that's going on at Free Lunch.
A lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah,
it's a busy joint, that Free Lunch Studios.
Yep, and then. One last thing, and I forgot to mention this during the comic watch, but some of the comic vendors are going to have this FOOM #1. Marvel is going back and revisiting their old fan magazine from the 70s and 80s.
It's on a lot of the DC one we had a couple of weeks
That's
ago.
right. So
graphic novels.
They're giving that away. I think that just came out
That's pretty cool.
today. So FOOM #1, FOOM, Marvel.
Nice.
And that's it. That's all I got on the menu.
Sweet. So we got so much stuff going on. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another Free Lunch comic news. Stay tuned for that.
Yep.
And keep track of us on the Facebook. We're also on the Twitter
and
as well.
and I'm putting the comic news live feed video on YouTube now. So you can actually tune in. You would love it. It's a shot of Dwight sitting at a news desk.
I saw that.
And I replaced our.
That's the new cover photo.
I did put that there. Yep.
From the Facebook page.
And then what was I going to say? If you want to know about any of the events over at Free Lunch Studios, just look up Free Lunch Studios on Facebook.
Yes.
And it's all the events are listed there.
And if you have any, if you're an artist or a comic book writer out there in the world and you're wanting to get some word out about your book, please feel free to give us a shout on Facebook or Twitter. We would love to talk about your independent books and get the word out, because the more word out, the more people read, the more comic books are made, the more people have fun.
Because we are the ambassadors for this medium, and we have to represent it well, and that's never going to happen better than us working together to get it done.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself if I had said it.
Oh, well, thanks for writing it down for me.
No problem, anytime. So we'll be back with more of that in just a couple weeks. But until then, everyone have a great time, a great couple weeks, and we'll see you then on Free Lunch Comic News.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great one, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate you. If you liked the show, share it with your friends.
Or tell us, because we like being told we're awesome.
Or that. But we're thrilled to be able to deliver this to you, and we'll see you at the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.